Now that we've covered some of the other basic tools, now we're going to discuss offsets. We're going to start by creating a few fillets. So as you might recall from our previous lesson, we're going to move up to the ribbon. We're going to pick the fillet command. We're going to left click. And then what we're going to do is we are going to select radius or type R, hit enter. A fillet radius of 100 seems good to me. We're going to hit enter. We're going to select the first line where the intersection is going to be the fillet we want. Select the second, left click. Now, here's a good trick. If you want to repeat whatever your last command was, all you do is you just hit enter and you can repeat that last command. So now we can do another fillet of 100 units. Left click and left click the other line. Now we're going to try actually drawing an offset. An offset is a copy essentially of a line that is geometrically similar but at an inset distance. Let's try moving over to the offset tool, which is located right here. Alternatively, if you prefer it, you can also type O, and as you can see, offset is the first command that comes up in the command prompt. We can hit enter. Now it wants to know what distance we're going to create this inset or outset geometric copy through. So for now, let's try 200 units. We'll type 200, 200, and hit enter. Now it's asking us to select the object that we want to offset. So when we select this line, we'll left click, and as you can see, it either creates an offset that is 200 meters outside or inside that line, depending on which way we move our cursor. So for now, let's put it outside. We can left click, and now we've successfully made an offset of our original polyline. Let's try that one more time. We're going to move up to the offset tool. We'll left click it. There we are. And we're going to specify a distance that's a little bit bigger now. Let's try specifying a distance of 300. 300. We're going to hit enter. We're going to select the object we want to do the offset on. We'll pick this one. Left click. And as you can see, that's a geometric copy that's inset 300 units. Just like that. Now seems like a good time to discuss object snaps. Now object snaps are really going to be like the bread and butter of our AutoCAD experience when it comes to creating drawings that are geometrically precise. Let's try something right now. We select the line tool, left click it, and as we move closer to one of these corners, as you can see, it automatically kind of wants to snap to that corner there, or endpoint. As you can tell, AutoCAD wants us to be able to snap directly to that point. That is our object snap at work. Now, object snaps, when we move down to our status bar down here, it can be turned on and off from down here. Now, if we move over to the drop down menu next to the object snap icon, we left click, and as you can see, this is a list of all of the lines and commands that AutoCAD automatically knows to snap to. So depending on what we have set as on, simply done by left clicking, this now gives a list of points that AutoCAD knows to snap to. So currently, only these snaps and these points will come up if you bring your cursor to them. Let's try some of these object snaps in action. So we move over to the object snap. We left click the drop down menu next to it. And as we can see that right now, midpoint is turned off. Let me show you what this means. We're going to try drawing a polyline. And because endpoint is on, it's automatically going to snap to this endpoint right here. See? As you can see, from the dynamic input command there, it says endpoint. So let's left click and bring our cursor anywhere out here. It doesn't really matter. We'll left click again. Now watch this. When we try to bring it to the midpoint, it doesn't give us the option, but you see these green boxes here essentially light up when AutoCAD is trying to recognize where it wants us to put our snap to. So if we try picking here, look at that. It's putting the green box there because that's where it's going to take us in a second. So even though I can put it very, very close to wherever I think the midpoint is, essentially what it's going to do is it's going to try to instead snap me right to one of the endpoints. However, if I go back to my object snaps, I left click and I turn midpoint on. Watch what happens this time. Left click. Now with the checkbox, you can see it's on. I move over, I select polyline again. I select an endpoint, left click. Anywhere out here is fine. And now AutoCAD actually, you can see from the little green indicating shape there, AutoCAD's actually going to snap to that point now. It won't just snap to the endpoint here. It actually knows I want to snap to a midpoint. And there it is. Let's see what happens when I turn a few of these other snaps on. We'll move over to Object Snap right here, left click, and we're going to try Center, which will automatically snap us to whatever the center of a drawn circle is. Let's try it right now. I have that selected, and now when I try to draw a line, look at that, it automatically wants to snap me to the center of the circle. So if I click, just like that, I've automatically got a polyline that's snapped as its beginning point to the center of that circle. I left click, and there you have it. Now naturally, if I turn it off, here, I'll turn this off. We'll delete that really quickly. Watch what happens when I turn it off. I'll left click, I will uncheck center snap, and now when I try to draw a polyline, look at this, it's completely random. I can get pretty close, but it won't be exactly at the center of the shape. Let's try another one. Let's move over to Object Snap, go to the drop-down menu, pick Geometric Center. We'll turn this one back on too, just for safety. We'll pick Geometric Center, and this one will take us to the geometric center snap of whatever shape we are currently working with. So let's left click, and watch what happens when I try to draw a polyline at the geometric center of this circle. See there? Look at that little asterisk in there. That's the snap telling us that that is where it thinks we want to snap the line to. Let's try it. Let's left click where it's illuminated. And now that line originates in the geometric center of that rectangle.